Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop Opinions Cuz 2025 continues to get worse.
4, 5.
it has
the under 15
111 like
Really?
mm-hmm.
Oh.
At 33
show
minutes.
has been postponed after backlash over sexualizing minors. The production team canceled the March 31st premiere, saying they'll restructure and re-edit the show. The fact that this grooming pipeline ever got greenlit,
I can't wait
let
till they
alone made it to the
cancel
editing room,
it.
exposes the rot festering in K-pop's underbelly. They'll re-edit and restructure? The problem isn't the editing or the outfits.
Didn't we
it's
talk
the
about this
concept.
already?
You can't
Yes.
CGI the predatory essence out of footage that
And we were
sexualized 8-year-olds in crop tops,
thrilled.
staged them in fierce poses ripped from Vogue, and fed them into the idol blender before they lost their baby teeth. Those first teasers aren't styling mishaps, they're evidence. The show's creators knew exactly what they were selling. Lolita vibes on a budget. K-pop's been fetishizing youth for years. New Jeans Cookie, Baby Monsters. 14-year-old Chiquita debuting with a sexy concept, but under 15 is child pageantry on steroids. The show's premise is inherently abusive. Take minors, strip them of childhood, mold them into marketable dolls and profit from their vulnerability. The producers aren't rethinking the format. They're recalculating how much exploitation they can get away with before regulators notice. Focusing solely on
like we did this
sexualization
already.
misses the forest
Come
for the
on.
trees.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
she's being
putting
wrong.
preteens in mesh tops
That
and
horse.
red light district makeup is vile. But the real issue is normalizing child labor in entertainment. The producers will likely rebrand the show as Youthful Beats, swap crop tops for school uniforms, and fans will cheer. See? They listened. Meanwhile, the same kids will still be sleep deprived, micromanaged and stripped of agency, just in cuter outfits. Restructuring is a scam. You can't sanitize a show built on mining minors for
I will
profit.
say,
The
when it
contestants
comes
face it.
to these type of issues, it's not when they occur that we should put attention to it. I think this is something that needs to be checked on. Like, there needs to be an adult in the room, a third party, to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do in the order it's supposed to be in.
Are already plastered online. Their childhood's commodified. Even if they reshoot every frame, the damage is done. These kids have been tasted by the public, their innocence monetized. The only ethical move is to scrap the show, blacklist every adult who approved it, and lobotomize the boardroom ghouls who thought this was a good idea. 2. Soo Hyun's grooming scandal just got uglier. The family of the victim held a press conference where they dropped more receipts proving their relationship started when she was 15 and he was a 28-year-old man texting her cringy miss you flirts and creepy sleepover hints like a middle-aged.
That's not what the other video we did said. It
They
said,
did held back though.
they said she was 17 at the text messages.
Predator. But wait, it gets worse. When she tried to call him out, his agency hit her with legal threats so vicious they pushed her to the edge multiple times before it finally got to her. Now they're scrambling to gaslight the public with pregnancy rumors and fake, strained family relationships to distract from the fact that their golden boy has been grooming a literal child. There's a literal video where he dressed a mannequin in inappropriate outfits.
I feel like grooming is not what this is about. Because I feel like barely anybody who talks about grooming in this case. Like that, to me, that should be the issue. But that seems like it's taking a backseat at this point.
So what's the front seat?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know why we keep
I do
talking
think
about
that they
this.
do fixate on what age she was. Like, I do think they do focus on her being groomed because that's the big deal of it all. Because then we'll be intervening into a bad relationship. But the fact that it's possible that this relationship started when she was young is the dynamic that's being focused on. I think it is.
I don't like the one video we just did. We barely touched on the grooming factor. It was
Well-
all about her suicide. That's it.
Well, the messages. Well, first they proved with the text messages that it was a relationship, but I don't know if 17. They said 17. I don't know if 17 is considered underage in South Korea.
Well, at that point, 13 was considered legal, so even
So, I
14
don't
was
know.
legal technically.
So I don't know. That's why I asked, what's the timeline of those text messages?
And sent it to her, suggesting she should wear them. Deleting DMs won't delete the crime evidence oozing from those texts. This is a horror story. One where the monster wears a human face and the victim's silence becomes his sharpest weapon. The fact that she carried his filth to her grave, shielding him with her last breath, isn't noble or loyal. It's grooming's final victory. A testament to how thoroughly predators corrode their victims into self-sacrificial shields. When I read the messages, I wanted to hurl my phone at the wall. Lines like "You are my first and last love" aren't romantic, it's a chainsaw to the soul. A phrase groomers carve into their victims to ensure eternal compliance. He didn't win her heart. He hacked apart her sense of self and rebuilt her as his confessional booth. Her silence wasn't devotion, it's psychological mutilation. The endgame of years spent gaslighting her into believing his sins were her cross to bear. She didn't protect him. No, he weaponized her empathy.
Record-breaking global sensation Chris Brown presents
Let me know.
Bowl 20 live across North America.
Conditioning her to equate his survival with her worth. Groomers don't just manipulate, they reprogram. By the end, she wasn't guarding him, she was guarding the warped reality he implanted, where his abuse felt like love and her suffering was sacrifice, and him finally getting exposed? That's not karma. Karma's for people who stub their toes, not predators who feast on innocence. And don't kid yourself, if she'd lived, they'd have buried her truth deeper. Corpses make convenient martyrs. Living victims make inconvenient noise. People reacting to the text say that she sounds like such an innocent young kid. Exactly. Innocence is
She did. She did sound like a kid. I said that.
the groomer's bait. He didn't prey on her despite her naivety, he preyed because of it. Society's obsession with purity, framing victims as angelic, or too good for this world only fuels the fire. It turns their trauma into melodrama and their abusers into mustache-twirling villains. Ignoring the banality of evil, monsters aren't born. They're bred by a world that values silence over justice. Every tear you shed, every gag reflex triggered by his smarmy denials, every I want to throw up shudder, that's his poison lingering in your veins. He wanted her story buried, but death made her his eternal ghost. Now every exposed DM is her, haunting him from the grave. The ultimate joke? In trying to erase her, he made himself her eternal shadow. And if that's not bad enough, he got himself another scandal. 6 years after her death, Sulli's brother is dragging Kim Soo Hyun and his cousin for allegedly strong-arming Sulli into gratuitous explicit scenes in their train wreck film reel. The brother's been dropping Insta breadcrumbs for weeks, before finally unloading.
That's something new, I guess. Didn't know about this.
They said this is the distraction.
But honestly, I'm tired of this Kim Soo Hyun guy. What the fuck does this have to do with K-pop?
A legal grenade. Why was Sulli pressured to film explicit scenes not in the original script? Why did they skip using a body double who was literally on set and bully her into doing it raw? And why lie about the double being sick when she was ready to go? The timing's no accident. The brothers linking Sulli's exploitation to Kim Si-ron's grooming controversy, accusing Kim Soo Hyun's camp of a pattern, manipulating vulnerable women, then silencing them with legal threats until they break. Remember how the promo of the real movie reeked of desperation, using Sulli's body as a cheap selling point? Yeah, her brother's not buying the artistic choice lies either. Now he's teaming up with Kim Si-ron's family and other organizations, demanding Kim Soo Hyun stop hiding behind lawsuits and answer for the predatory vibes oozing out of his career. I don't know what to say anymore. The fact that Sulli was strong-armed into explicit scenes not in the script, while a body double sat sidelined is physical coercion. Kim Soo Hyun and his crony cousin didn't want art, they wanted control.
There should be someone on the team that said, no, that was not agreed upon in the contract. Because in Hollywood, if you want even a nipple exposed, it has to be in the contract.
Leveraging Sulli's crumbling mental state
Two
at the
is
time to
extra.
extract trauma for profit. That leaked explicit scene? A calculated move to monetize her humiliation. The film's marketing wasn't about storytelling. It was about reducing Sulli to a body count. A literal flesh prop for this actor's ego trip. Sulli's brother linking her ordeal to Kim Si-ron's grooming allegations isn't
So
coincidence.
why is it her brother? Is this person also dead? Because it's her brother. Why isn't she this person? Because I don't know who this person is.
It's confirmation. Kim Soo Hyun's playbook is clear. Target vulnerable women, the younger the better, dangle career opportunities, weaponize their desperation, reduce them to husks, silence them with lawsuits and let the court of public opinion finish the job. Do y'all know what that movie did to Sulli? She wasn't hated, she was ritually scapegoated. The same industry that sexualized her for clicks then punished her for existing, mocked for not understanding a script that was objectively nonsensical, blamed for a box office flop she didn't write or direct, and crucified for breathing while female. Meanwhile, Kim Soo Hyun skated to military shelter, his reputation buffered by a PR machine that paints predators as princes. It's a tired cycle. Chew up women for content, spit them out as
Let me see if I can
unstable,
find
and let
her.
male co-stars and directors collect accolades atop their graves. Sulli's brother and Kim Si-ron's family speaking out is brave. But let's not kid ourselves. The system is rigged, fans are furious. But Kim Soo Hyun won't fall, not really. The industry's built to protect its cash cows. He'll reflect in a carefully staged interview, donate to a vague charity, and return as the humble dude in a Netflix rom-com. Sulli? Kim Si-ron? There'll be footnotes in his Wikipedia page, their pain reduced to controversies asterisked beside his awards. The saddest truth? We already know how this ends. The Kims of the industry don't drown, they float. Their victims sink, weighted by NDAs, societal shame, and the industry's bottomless appetite for fresh meat. Where's Sungri now? Exactly.
Yeah, she's dead. So what, she offed herself too? Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Damn. What do you want to see?
Let me
That's
read
her.
a little bit of her story.
Damn, so he has two bodies on. Well, I did say in the other video the Kim Se-ron body's not on him, but two bodies. This
Wow.
is starting to look like a pattern.
And she's young too.
Yeah, two bodies. Yeah, that's something else.
Wow.
Yeah. Hmm.
She struggled with panic disorder and social phobia since she was young. Prior to
Mm.
her death, she was suffering from severe depression.
Hmm.
Wow.
He knows how to take advantage of women. That's for sure.
And he knows how to find like
Yeah, how to find the weak women
weak.
too. Yeah.
4. Viral hits versus a stable fandom. Viral hits are the musical equivalent of a one-night stand. Hot, fleeting, and leaving you with nothing but regret by sunrise. Meanwhile, a dedicated fandom? That's a ride-or-die marriage with joint custody. And the reason why Momoland's Boom Boom is rotting in the discount bin while AT's cult following could fund a small country. A viral song is like TikTok's It Girl of the Month. Everyone lip-syncs it. Nobody remembers it. Remember Friday by Rebecca Black? Exactly. Momoland's Boom Boom.
I do. I disagree. I think viral hits is what everybody remembers them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of viral songs I never actually listened to, but I know them. Like for example, Roddy Rich The Box. I never listened to it by myself on the Spotify, never once. But it was so viral that I know the song.
But that's a good kind of viral because there's viral and you don't even know who's the person. You just know the song. Or you don't even know the name of the song.
Okay, let me put it this way: before doing the reactions, I wouldn't know who it was either, just the song. But we've done like the top songs of like 2019 or whatever. That was like one of the top songs. So I remember who it was by, but at the time I didn't know who it was by. I just knew the song.
Boom slapped harder than a drunken stepdad in 2018. But where are they now? And what about Everglow with hundreds of millions of views, begging for concert tickets on Groupon? Meanwhile, Dreamcatcher haven't charted a smash hit since 2017. Yet they're doing world tours because their fandom treats every comeback like a religious awakening. Viral fame is a sugar rush. Fandoms are the IV drip keeping artists alive. The general public streams your song once on Spotify, netting you $0.003 while scrolling Instagram Reels. Dedicated stans? They're bulk buying 10 album versions, flying to Seoul for fan meets and tattooing lyrics on their lower backs. Fandoms could crowdfund a spaceship if their faves asked nicely. Furthermore, viral success is a creative straitjacket. Drop a hit about dancing in the club? Congrats! Now you're chained to making dancing in the club part 17 until the general public gets bored. But fandoms? They're here for the messy evolution. Luna's orbits didn't bail when the group went from bubblegum pop to dystopian noise. They threw a parade. The general public has the attention span of a goldfish on Red Bull. One day you're Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license. The next you're Rebecca Black's Friday. But fandoms? They'll fight to the death in Twitter trenches. Casual listeners scroll past. Stans mobilize armies. Momoland's Boom Boom was a bop, but their fandom was thinner than a K-pop diet plan. Result? They became a cautionary meme about the...
I guess as an artist, what you want is a stable fandom, not a viral hit per se. But as a spectator, to me, more impressive is when somebody makes a viral hit than who has like a huge fandom. That buy like
Really?
10 albums for one person buys 10 albums.
Nah,
Yeah.
I disagree. I'm impressed. If we didn't wasn't reacting to the K-pop world, we wouldn't know we wouldn't know how intense the fandom is to support and create popularity for the K artists here.
That's
I'm
yes,
impressed.
exactly. That's my point. I wouldn't even know of these people because they don't
But
make
the-
viral hits.
Yeah, but
So to me, that's not
still
impressive.
they have like a fan, they're popular
Right, within
and they're
that community, they are
successful.
popular.
That's
yeah.
amazing to me.
No, but that's what I'm saying. For artists, that's what you want essentially, because she was right. They
Yeah.
will crowdfund you. But
Mhm.
as a spectator, to me, it's more impressive that somebody makes a viral hit.
No, even
Yeah.
as a spectator, it's impressive to see someone has
No,
such
no,
a following. I
that's-
didn't know how crazy Army was.
Not really.
Okay?
To me, it's like when they go and do these at Billboard 200 #1 album and not a single song charts on Hot 100. That's not impressive to me.
We have disagreeing opinions.
Okay.
perils of general public dependency.
I'm
5.
impressed with
Calling
the
Korean
fandom.
concerts boring just because fans aren't scream-sobbing or moshing reeks of cultural illiteracy. Korea's concert etiquette isn't about rupturing the next person's eardrums. It's more measured and quieter. You think those seated crowds aren't hyped? They're weaponizing silence to laser focus on everything happening on stage. They might not be screaming through the whole set, but they follow the fan chants their faves give them. It's choreographed, organized, and intentional. Traditional Korean arts conditioned audiences to engage through stillness, not stadium chants. You wouldn't tone-deaf scream a high note during a tea ceremony, would you? Modern K-pop inherited that DNA. The no screaming rule isn't repression, it's a middle finger to the Western no.
Then why do you say Lady Gaga's album flopped? She hit #1 on Billboard 200 per album. But we saw 2 weeks later, not one song, I think, not one song is on their list. And it didn't flop, it was great.
I don't think it flopped because it made it. First of all, it's very hard to make the list.
Okay.
For
True.
her,
Okay,
but
fair
for
enough.
her, based
It
on
did
her
make the list.
catalog, she has better work, so you can always compare it to her
But
work.
she got Billboard 200 #1.
Exactly, but compared to her other work, we've seen her do better. So it's like, oh, Gaga, we've seen you do better.
She
That's
had
why,
#1. What is
even
better
though,
than
even
#1?
though if it was her first, if it was first album, okay, cool, you made it, nice. Not everyone can ever see the day they make it, But the fact that we seen Gaga made
She
like
flopped. Period.
done better.
That album flopped because
It's not
nobody
her.
gives a
It's
fuck
not.
about
It's not
Billboard
one of her.
200.
It's not. It's
It
not one of her great
flopped.
albums. It's not one
It
of her great
flopped.
albums.
Not one song from the actual
Yeah,
album got
but
higher
listen,
than top 20.
listen. You played that
Aside
song.
from the pre-release singles,
You play
Abracadabra,
that song.
Smile
You play
Big.
that song. Everyone's dancing. Abracadabra. No, no, no,
No, that
no.
song is a hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying from the actual album without the pre-release singles, minus those two songs,
Yeah, but
Abracadabra,
the fact that it
Disease
made,
2.
but the thing is, the fact that it's a flop album, but it's carried
Yeah.
by the fan base to still make it, because I don't think if she
No.
was a no,
It's
I
carried
don't
by the
think-
name, not by the fan base. By Lady Gaga name. That's why she
the
made
name
it.
and the fan base go hand in hand.
Not
What's her name
necessarily.
for the fan base? What's
The
her name for the fan base?
Okay, fan base cannot carry you to Billboard to Hot 100. It just can't. You have to have that name appeal. That casual listener has to be intrigued
That
to
name
listen to
appeal
your
comes
music.
from the fan base, because the fan
No,
base
it
fucks
doesn't.
you.
It comes from your previous works, previous accomplishments.
No.
So okay, why am I listening? I'm not listening to Lady Gaga because of Lady Gaga's fan base. I'm listening because I know her name. She has some viral hits in the past, and I want to see if she has any.
The reason why you even know she exists is because the fan base brought it to
No.
your attention.
No, it wasn't. It was because I saw her song in 2009.
In 2009, where was she from? New York. Did you have business in New York to know her locally in New York? No.
No.
She grew a fan base. The fan base made reach to Florida, and you got to hear it in Florida.
No, I was in Lithuania.
And even better,
There was no fan base.
The fan base.
There was no
carried
fan
it.
base of Lady Gaga in
The
Lithuania.
fan base said, "Hey, put this
What are you
lady's
talking
music
about?
on." Yeah,
No, I downloaded
you
the
have
actual
to give
song.
respect. You have to give respect to the fan
I
base.
downloaded the song.
The fan base is what open doors for you and opportunities.
No.
When you book a gig with those companies, they ask you, "What's your fan base looking
Nope.
like?"
Nope.
What's your fan base looking like? Because if you got no fan base, you ain't T. You ain't gonna be T. You never
Nope.
gonna do T. Goodbye, guys. Of course, let us know your thoughts. Rate, like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.